Considered the marketing savior for the sport.
So many people were also painting her out to be the problem. She could never do enough. She could never speak out enough.
Many WNBA players feel entitled to larger contracts, noting their longer career in the league compared to the rookie, and are outraged over Caitlin Clark's rich offer from a European team.
It's physical. Caitlin is helping to grow the league. These women understand that, but she cannot be babied as a rookie. That's all I'm at.
As the highest paid player in the world, Caitlin Clark's departure overseas could signal disaster for the WNBA because she will finally receive the recognition she deserves in a league that appreciates her talent and is devoid of players hoping for her demise.
Ow! Oh, I'm sorry. You poked me in the eye. You're an 8-year-old. You did. I did not poke you. Did you do it on purpose? I did not poke you in the eye. Did you do it on purpose?
Why would Caitlin Clark continue to play in a league when even her own teammates turn against her after hearing about the viral eye poke incident? Nalissa Smith was spotted laughing with DJ Carrington.
Hold on, man. This woman is booed up with the girl that poked Caitlin Clark in the eye. They're making videos making fun of Caitlin Clark in the eye poke. What is the Indiana Fever doing?
Nalissa Smith, Caitlin Clark's partner, was seen smiling when DJ Carrington imitated her, asking, "Did you do it on purpose?" Surprisingly, Smith didn't defend Clark, isolating her even from her own team during this incident.
If Caitlin, in every post-game press conference, she came out and talked about the kind of hateful comments that she was getting. If she came out and told everybody the reason why she has personal security that goes with her every single place, it's a lot. And so it's not just Caitlin Clark fans or Indiana Fever fans. It is not all going in one direction.
Instead of endorsing Clark, Caitlin's team has posted Nalissa Smith's season highlights. Now that opposing players obviously don't want her in the WNBA and even her own teammates are making fun of her, Caitlin has even more incentive to quit. She should accept the EuroLeague offer, leaving the WNBA desperate and pleading for her back once they realize what they've.
To the degree of Caitlin Clark being on that basketball court and people watching her, but nevertheless, rising tide lifts all.
Why does Caitlin Clark's contract with a European team cause such strong feelings within the league? It's not just another move. It's a clear indication of the opportunities and differences between some WNBA players and those attracting attention abroad. Despite years of dominance, Wilson and other elite WNBA players haven't seen the same lucrative deals, but Caitlin, a newcomer to professional basketball, has already drawn international offers. Longtime players who feel ignored by the league and international team are frustrated by this gap, which Clark's ability to draw attention to highlights.
People that laid the groundwork that deserve shine as well. Here's what we're going to do.
Are they playing now?
Here's what we're going to do.
Are they playing now?
We don't have Andrea.
Remember, you got
we don't have any of the women, Chanae. They'll come back on. We'll revisit this conversation. Glad.
Wilson for Asia. The underlying message that Caitlin's move sends to the rest of the WNBA is more frustrating than the fact that she signed a contract to play in Europe. Asia has long held the opinion that being the league's MVP should entail more than just a title. In her opinion, MVP status should inevitably lead to the best opportunities in terms of contracts and recognition. However, she is currently witnessing Caitlin Clark, who hasn't played for nearly as long or accomplished as much in the professional world, receiving offers that someone of AIA's caliber should be receiving.
12 million people are watching ESPN for a game. If that game was on CBS, they probably would have had 25, 30 million people watching that game.
While Caitlin was still playing at the collegiate level, her games were packed with fans who couldn't wait to watch her play, but Asia wasn't drawing the same crowds at the WNBA level despite being the MVP. This highlights the harsh reality that skill and accomplishment don't always equal financial reward in the WNBA, which is why Asia's frustration goes deeper.
I don't even know her name, Nalissa Smith, if she played on any of the other 11 teams. She was the second overall pick 2 or 3 years ago in the WNBA draft. Decent player, but no one would know. She played with Caitlin Clark. People know her name. She has no gratitude. She has no respect. She can't tell her girlfriend, hey, we ain't doing that.
Game, it's no secret that DJ Carrington despises Caitlin Clark. The two athletes have a history together. Carrington's hostility reached a breaking point during the notorious eye poke incident, which left Caitlin with a black eye rather than expressing regret for her conduct. Carrington made the decision to make fun of Caitlin, which increased their conflict. This public act of contempt wasn't an isolated incident. Rather, it was a sign of a longer-standing animosity that Carrington had for Caitlin.
the most watched WNBA games in over 2 decades. What does that tell you? That tells you that before Caitlin Clark came along, it wasn't nearly as popular. It doesn't mean it wasn't growing in popularity over the last 2 to 3 years. But 3 years ago, WNBA was in the...
Carrington is a gifted player in her own right, but she hasn't been able to attain the same level of fame or success as Caitlin. This has led to a sense of resentment that was only made worse by the eye poke incident. Carrington's resentment probably stems from the fact that Caitlin has become the face of women's basketball in a way that Carrington hasn't been able to. Caitlin's quick ascent to fame seems to be a personal slight, as though her own efforts are being disregarded in favor of someone who hasn't made the same sacrifices.
Anything above board, it doesn't matter what Nylisa Smith does. She can go out and mock our meal ticket, the best player in the league, the person that's making us all rich.
The way Carrington seems to enjoy Caitlin's misfortunes rather than offering an apology for the injuries is concerning about her actions. Carrington made fun of it, implying that she takes pleasure in Caitlin's suffering. This kind of behavior goes beyond professional rivalry. It's personal. Carrington's resentment and disrespect towards Caitlin are apparent, and it's something that Caitlin has had to deal with throughout her career in the WNBA. Nylisa Thomas has allied herself with DJ Carrington in their shared hostility towards Caitlin Clark. After the EY Pook incident, Nylisa was seen laughing with her girlfriend about Caitlin's injury, showing a complete lack of empathy for her fellow player. This kind of behavior is alarming. Should be a professional athlete. The fact that Nylisa and Carrington find amusement in Caitlin's injury points to a larger malaise inside the league.
And impacting the WNBA well before this year. This is not a new thing. Sure. This is, and in that way, I do think Caitlin's being used as a pawn. Caitlin didn't bring this into the WNBA. This has been happening.
For Caitlin, this level of hostility is deeply concerned. Earning the WNBA is supposed to be a place where players support one another and work together to elevate the league, but instead she's facing open animosity from her peers. This creates a toxic environment where players are not only competing against one another but actively working to tear each other down beyond simply being an on-court mishap. Caitlin's injury grew to represent the animosity she encounters from players like Nylisa and
all those who think it's funny, could you imagine if it was the roles were reversed? If Caitlin Clark, 2 white girls, made a video mocking it, what the reaction would be? I mean, let's just be honest. I don't want to go, what about Favre? But what about Favre? It's the truth.
Experiencing the annoyance in professional sports, a team is meant to represent a safe and supportive environment where players are united in a common goal, winning games and achieving success together. It's about trust, collaboration, and solidarity, especially during difficult times. However, Caitlin Clark's reality with the Indiana Fever has been anything but supportive. Instead of rallying around Caitlin, who was obviously the victim of a physical injury, the Indiana Fever seemed indifferent, failing to publicly defend her or even acknowledge the situation in a meaningful way.
Say she's lucky this UConn team isn't healthy. And that's a true statement.
That's wrong, Molly.
Monica?
That's wrong, Molly. Molly,
like
it's
5
excuses.
top players,
It's
am
excuses,
I right?
Molly. It's
Major
excuses.
injury.
You would not be saying that if it wasn't UConn.
Major stars not playing.
Listen, excuse me, it's her against Caitlin Clark.
Stephen A.
Ain't no excuses.
Stephen
You
A.
got there.
Wait a
No,
minute.
want to hear that now.
Stephen A.
Let me tell you, if
Paige
Georgetown
Beckers-
gets back in the mix, I'm going to be insufferable. I'm just telling you that now.
What?
If Paige Beckers didn't basically miss 2 seasons, I don't know if we'd be talking
Come on
about
now.
Caitlin Clark the way we are.
Caitlin, this must have seemed like a betrayal, since not only were her contributions ignored, but her own team appeared more concerned with honoring the accomplishments of others than defending one of their best players. If a player like Caitlin, who has brought so much attention and value to the WNBA, isn't receiving support from her teammates and coaching staff, it indicates a much deeper problem. This circumstance raises significant issues about the internal dynamics of the team. The lack of support Caitlin received isn't just about a single incident. It speaks to a larger issue within the team culture. For any athlete, especially someone of Caitlin's caliber, feeling alone or unprotected by your own team can be emotionally taxing. In this instance, Caitlin's teammates and staff have chosen to remain silent or focus on other players, sending a clear message that her personal well-being and contributions to the team don't carry as much weight as they should.
People that were sitting on this network, they tried to minimize her, said, well, you giving her all this credit. What about the women that came before her? What the women came before her, what they did cannot be taken away. That ain't got nothing to do with Caitlin Clark.
It can undermine a player's self-esteem and cause feelings of alienation, which in turn affects performance and general happiness within the league. It also makes Caitlin wonder if the WBA, and more especially the Indiana Fever, are the best places for her to pursue her career. After all, why would she stay in a situation where her own team doesn't seem to support her? Caitlyn's decision to think about playing in Europe is further complicated by this incident. She might find herself in a more encouraging and polite team atmosphere in addition to perhaps earning more money and encountering less animosity from other players. For Caitlyn, the Indiana Fever's lack of support may be the last push she needs to make the move. European leagues are renowned for providing their top players with the resources and support they need to succeed. Losing someone like Caitlyn, who was able to attract new fans, may be a severe blow to the WNBA, which has traditionally struggled to compete with other major sports leagues. The worry is that Caitlyn's move to Europe might set a precedent. If one of the league's biggest stars can leave for better opportunities overseas, what's stopping other elite players from doing the same? The WNBA might find itself in a position where its best talent is playing abroad, leaving the league with fewer star players to draw spectators. This isn't just about Caitlyn. Her departure might be the tipping point that sends the WNBA into a downward spiral and undoes years of effort and advancement.